Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Punisher made an explosive return to the small screen in Daredevil, Born Again, and perfectly laid the groundwork for his upcoming MCU show. As one of the MCU's most violent characters, Frank Castle is a perfect fit for the latest TV May-rated series in the MCU. Although his initial debut in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 4 was relatively tame compared to his previous outings, the Daredevil, Born Again finale was crammed with plenty of R-rated moments to which Castle was predictably a significant contributor. It was also thanks to the Punisher that Daredevil, Born Again Episode 9 was so well received. After debuting in Daredevil Season 2 and going on to star in 2 seasons of his own self-titled spin-off, Jon Bernthal proved, alongside his co-stars, that he is still worthy of the MCU fandom's faith in the Daredevil, Born Again finale, returning to form after 6 years' absence. Now, Bernthal is due to star once again in a second spin-off, which couldn't have been more capably teed up by Daredevil, Born Again Episode 9. Enthusiasm for the Punisher's return was at fever pitch by the time the Daredevil, Born Again finale aired this week, with 4 episodes separating his 2 appearances. Thankfully, Frank Castle was back in full force, joining Matt Murdock in his apartment moments before Wilson Fisk's corrupt task force was due to descend on their location. The ensuing scene certainly paid off Punisher's absence as he and Daredevil proceeded to make short work of the police force in their typical fashion, with Castle pulling no punches. The Punisher's renown is rooted in his being a one-man army, yet in the 2 short fights he took part in, one was part of a team-up and the other saw him defeated. The Punisher would subsequently return to his solo MO. Descending on Red Hook with murderous intent, he encounters the task force on their home turf and brutally kills several before ultimately being overwhelmed by their superior numbers. This leads to a tense exchange as he ridicules a cohort of the corrupt cops who co-opted his iconography, provoking a cavalcade of punches to the face and leaving his fate up in the air. The scenes were fantastic, but all too brief. The Punisher's renown is rooted in his being a one-man army, yet in the 2 short fights he took part in, one was part of a team-up, and the other saw him defeated. The good news is that the Punisher is due to return, and it won't be too long for fans to wait either. The Punisher will return in an MCU special feature due to be released at the same time as Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, which Dario Scardapane recently announced via Instagram would be released in March 2026. Previous examples of the MCU's special features include Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, meaning the Punisher special feature will likely comprise one episode between 40 and 60 minutes long. Actor Jon Bernthal is writing the feature alongside the special feature director, Reinaldo Marcus Green. While the Punisher's 2 short scenes in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 9 might have left many viewers wanting more, the prospect of the Punisher's special feature being an hour-long paints a positive picture. With Frank Castle being defined by his righteous rampages, it stands to reason that one of these is what his special feature spin-off will be almost exclusively composed of. At the very least, we can expect that it will start strong if the Daredevil, Born Again post-credits scene is anything to go by. The ending to Daredevil, Born Again was an epic setup of Daredevil's retaliation against the Kingpin's return, with Daredevil promising to form an army. Nevertheless, the final scene of the show was granted to Frank Castle, who was last seen imprisoned in a cage in Kingpin's dungeon. Despite being one of many prisoners, Punisher is the only one whose hands are shackled. Punisher vindicates this decision in the post-credits scene, where he charms a guard into getting close enough to break his arm. As the screen turns black, the audience hears the rattling of keys and a cage being unlocked. It leaves enough of a question mark over the events for Bernthal and Green to take myriad routes with the story, but it's safe to assume that Punisher has escaped his incarceration. At this juncture, it seems clear that both Daredevil, Born Again, and the Punisher special feature will deal with the same fallout, with Kingpin and his task force in both Matt Murdock's and Frank Castle's sights, though it will be some time before this universe of Marvel Comics. Few characters evoke as many strong emotions as Frank Castle, the Punisher. Known for his brutal methods and unwavering dedication to justice, Frank's arrival in the Marvel Universe has always been nothing short of explosive. Pair that with the suave and morally complex Daredevil, and you have a narrative powerhouse. The recent return of the Punisher in the highly anticipated Daredevil, Born Again series serves as a brilliant setup for his forthcoming standalone show, creating ripples of excitement among fans old and new. Revisiting the clash of ideals. From the onset, the dynamic between Frank Castle and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, has exemplified the stark contrast in their approaches to justice. Matt, a blind lawyer by day, thrives on the belief that the law, despite its flaws, is the backbone of society. Conversely, Frank has sworn to wage his one-man war on crime, deeming the legal system insufficient against the unyielding tide of evil that has marred his life. Daredevil, Born Again, explores this ideological clash anew, providing fans with an opportunity to witness a meeting of these two complex characters in a landscape that's darker and grittier than before. The series embarks on a deep dive into the psychological implications of vigilant justice, echoing the moral dilemmas faced by both characters. This conflict is what draws fans in, a dance of ethics where the audience is left questioning what justice truly means. Exciting character development. Returning to his roots, Charlie Cox reprises his role as Matt Murdock, embodying the duality of a man torn between his moral convictions and the chaos that envelops him. Meanwhile, Jon Bernthal's portrayal of the Punisher brings a gritty authenticity that resonates with the audience. There's a palpable intensity in his eyes as he wrestles with his demons, creating a juxtaposition with Matt's emotional turmoil. In Born Again, viewers see Frank grappling with his past, haunted by memories of loss, trauma, and the thin line he walks every day. The narrative occupies a unique space in the Marvel Universe, where character-driven story arcs are paramount. Fans of the original Netflix series will relish the deeper exploration of Frank's motivations, allowing for a more nuanced portrayal that is poised to captivate. A World on the Brink. The resurrection of the Punisher in Daredevil, Born Again, also reflects a world increasingly familiar with anti-heroes. In a society dealing with pervasive crime and moral ambiguity, characters like Frank Castle provide both a mirror and a critique of contemporary times. The show navigates this charged atmosphere with finesse, offering subtle commentary on justice, while ensuring that the action-packed sequences don't overshadow the introspective storytelling. Incorporating themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the implications of vigilantism, the series resonates with a diverse audience. For fans who have always upheld the Punisher's brutal ethos, the welcome return showcases his complexities, rooted in a desire to eradicate evil, yet marred by his methods. Intricate storytelling and world-building. One of the most compelling aspects of Daredevil, Born Again, is how it intertwines the narratives of its characters. The show introduces an ensemble of villains and allies from Daredevil's rogues gallery, further enriching the storyline. Enemies like Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, create a perfect storm where alliances and rivalries collide, paving the way for an intricate web of story arcs. Frank's presence in this rich tapestry sets up a narrative landscape that feels both expansive and intimate. The potential for character crossovers heightens the excitement, allowing for interactions that fans have longed to see. A possible alliance between Daredevil and Punisher could bring about narrative fireworks that reach beyond their initial meetings, opening doors for new storylines in his standalone series. The road to the standalone show. The groundwork laid in Daredevil, Born Again is a unique prospect for the Punisher's upcoming show. With a variety of unresolved conflicts and gripping character arcs, the series acts as a launching pad that could take viewers deeper into Frank Castle's psyche. The way Matt and Frank's stories intertwine not only enriches the narrative, but also paves the way for a seamless transition to their own independent journeys. In Frank's standalone show, one can imagine delving deeper into his previous battles, exploring his methods, relationships, and, of course, his vendetta against the criminal underworld. The exploration of anti-heroes and their justification for violence remains a topical discussion in today's society, ensuring that the Punisher's narrative will resonate long past the confines of traditional storytelling. A fan's enthusiasm. Fans eagerly await the seamless integration of these characters, spurred not only by nostalgia but by excitement for fresh takes on beloved narratives. With the stunning reception that both Daredevil and Punisher garnered in their first Netflix outings, there's palpable eagerness to see them evolve. The success of Daredevil, Born Again, will undoubtedly set the tone for Frank's journey, blending intense action sequences with intricate character development. The creative team behind Daredevil, Born Again has the chance to capture lightning in a bottle once more, striking a balance between classic storytelling and modern themes. By focusing on themes of morality, ethics, and the fine line between law enforcement and vigilantism, the upcoming show is not just a vehicle for action, it's a platform for exploring the human condition. Conclusion. As audiences gear up for Daredevil, Born Again, the exhilaration surrounding the return of the Punisher adds an electrifying layer to the narrative. Through their complex relationships steeped in contrasting ideologies and shared grief, we witness a spectrum of emotions that speaks to the heart of humanity. The synergy created in this series is not merely a backdrop for future confrontations, but a chance to resonate with audiences on a deeper level. Frank Castle's upcoming standalone show will inevitably be shaped by the experiences formed in Born Again, creating an eager anticipation among fans for what lies ahead. As they navigate the gray areas of justice and morality, both Daredevil and the Punisher challenge us to confront our beliefs while reminding us that behind every mask lies a human story. In a world craving authentic narratives, this journey promises to be as thrilling as it is transformative, an experience perfectly set up by their shared history and contrasting paths.